Sound like a director there. It says we're live. We'll look at the lag, see what there is between YouTube, although it'll be different for everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah, it tends to start at the same point.
Oh, we have audio. Well, good evening to me and her.
And I've got it now.
And Stitch, good evening, sweetheart. And Resist and Little Stitch, if you're in the background there, as usual.
Evening, Stitch, Resist.
Seems weird. It says there's only 3 people in here. One's me, one's you. Yet I'm saying good evening to 5. Okay.
It hasn't, but there's 2 waiting. 2 watching.
Oh dear. And now it's gone down to 2. So it's just me and you again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stitch is gone.
Hey, and she's back, and we're up to 6. It's YouTube and StreamYard playing their tricks again. Well, good evening, people. How we doing in this world of oppression and fear?
What a week.
It's only fear that you fear, nothing else. No, I mean, yeah, it's all right, Stitch. The numbers are backwards and forwards and all sorts, and I've had issues with the computer not doing what I want it to do, or doing things in a weird way lately. Mrs. W's had a bit of a clean up on it, so it's working at the speed it should. It could even be me. I don't know. I do press buttons inadvertently. And after time when I have done some, I don't know what it is. But I suppose the big story this week so far is the conference of the robots there in Liverpool, isn't it? With Labour. Just trying. Okay, Stitch, no worries.
Started early, Stitch.
Well, they say it was a Labour conference. Basically, all I heard was 3 days of reform bashing. Yeah. And anybody else was a racist for some reason or other, or they suffered from Islamophobia. Good evening, Moo. You know, I mean, he was whittling on there as usual, not making any sense. We know that. Saying that we can be a diverse country. Yeah, I agree. We've been quite a diverse country for many, many years. But that diversity over the years has become integrated to our way of not thinking, but our culture. They have to survive. They follow their own religions, you know, but you never used to see them going out and taking over parks and high streets and stuff to follow them. And you don't see any of those that have been here, as he rightly put. He got something right. They've contributed to society. They paid their taxes. Many of them are hardworking. I've known a few, and we've got one not so far away that is an absolutely brilliant chap. But we are never going to have a peaceful, diverse country. Good evening, Gary. Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my condolences, Gary.
Sorry to hear that, but you know, we do know that he wasn't very well. You told us that before, and I just gathered that's why you'd disappeared for a little while. Sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear anybody passing, you know. But yeah, these people have integrated. But just wanted to thank you, Gary. Thank you. And you know I'm always contactable. You know that, mate. I've done it for others in here. So, yeah, if you need a chat, get in touch.
Just wait till the live's finished.
Yeah. Yeah, so on one thing he was right. This is son James. Yeah, but he ended
Sorry, darling.
What?
If I'm reading that right, and I want to get it cleared up now.
Yeah.
Gary has come on and put it's his son James.
Oh,
I'm presuming that means Gary's passed away, and it's James that's come on to say good evening to us tonight. Am I correct, James?
Is that correct, mate? Oh, bloody hell.
Not a problem, my love. Not a problem. Gary was a lovely, lovely guy. He really was.
Yeah. We've had many a laugh on here.
So sorry to hear that.
That's very sad. Very sad.
Not a problem, James.
But James, thank you for letting us know, mate. You know, when people... oh, it's even got me upset. When we lose people from the community like that.
It hits hard.
It does.
Because
absolutely.
Even though most of the guys on here we haven't met.
Yeah.
Some of them we have, but we like Moo anyway. No, everybody is part of our community, and we do care about them. So really, really sorry for your loss, and Gary will be missed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He was a big part of the channel, sort of all told, not just on the live streams. It's very sad. Good evening, Karen.
I'm going to compose myself now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it, Gary. James, sorry. That's, yeah, both me and Heather have lost people, including both parents.
Yeah, so, I'm an orphan.
So we do understand. Bloody hell. That's the last thing I expected to hear tonight.
Especially when, as you say, he was on the way to have some treatment. Nobody expected that. So my father died of a heart attack. He was at work, walking between one building and another with a little road in between. The factory was on two sides. And as he crossed the road, he was talking to his boss, and he just fell to the floor. He was gone. There was a fire station right next door. They called the firemen to see if they could do anything, but it was like Tommy Cooper. Just like Tommy Cooper. Just collapsed. So, yeah.
Anyway, back to what I was saying there. That's kind of thrown me out a bit.
Sorry, babe, I just need you to sort that.
No, not you. The actual what's happened. That, yeah, as I say, Starmer finished his powwow as he started by gloating about the Hillsborough law, saying nobody can hide. Well, I've said about this before. But this time he gave a list of groups and that effectively won't be able to hide. And he included this time, for the first time, when he mentions it is the grooming gangs. Now, personally, with this law in place, with the amount of cover-ups, the amount of corruption, and the amount of fraud and everything else that's going on in Parliament, that's where I would have started using that law to investigate. But, as I've said before, same as the, what was the other one they're bringing in? Is the Islamophobia law and shit like that. Are they going to wait until they bring that in? So any of these investigations, they can just turn around and call them racist. Islamophobia. So his promise of everybody will be held accountable. It's kind of neither here nor there, is it? Especially with them, because they'll always cover their ass. But with the amount of corruption that's piling up on their doorstep, it's not going to be long now before it starts to fall in on them. Yeah, we're already seeing the cracks. He's panicking. Well, they're all panicking. And they still will not answer questions. Despite all this, we will be transparent. So I'm just rearranging a few notes here. You know what I'm like with my memory since the strokes. And that's got me thinking now, you know, with Gary, I mean, how often in my condition do I go in for treatment or round to the doctors, you know? I mean, several of the ones I've got, I could be exactly the same as Heather's dad, just drop dead on the spot, you know? When it happens like that, it does make you think and question your own mortality at times.
But I'm not going to lose sleep worrying about it.
No, I don't. I've dodged it a few times over the years. If it happens, it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah.
I'll do CPR on you, baby, if I can be bothered.
If you can be bothered. Well, I've actually got a DNR on my record anyway, so I wouldn't want to live as a fucking vegetable. If I couldn't do anything. I mean, it was hard enough getting used to being able to just sit here and do what I do all day and not being able to go out and work and what have you.
You love being a kept man.
Oh, yeah. Like hell I do.
You were bored stupid. Miserable as...
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't how you were brought up. That was your problem. Yeah.
I mean, we get on, there was others spoke there at the conference. David Lammy, where he just made a complete twat of himself. Cooper. I mean, what was it she banged on about? Oh, the Israeli government has to end its moral obscenity of denying Gaza of food and water. Isn't that exactly what your government here are fucking trying to do with us? Isn't that about what things are being put in place are about? Denying us things? You need to concentrate more on home love. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. But then we get to Reeves. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Rachel from accounts. What an absolute disaster zone this woman is. You know? Again, we inherited the black hole. Not a fucking mention of the monster hole that she's created, which is a good twice the size of the one that she apparently inherited. You know, she kept banging on about how much they've achieved. And they're going to continue to follow their manifesto. Excuse me, you dopey bint. You've done the complete opposite to the manifesto. And you're planning more of it from what I hear. You know, she had a go at Farage as well. I mean, she really needs to look at herself in the mirror. For someone who does allegedly handle complaints, she don't do a very good job of looking at complaints made about herself, does she? But there was, funny enough, very little mentioned about the digital ID, wasn't there? It was mentioned, but they weren't making a big thing of it. I wonder why. Because if you think about it, the very laws that them and their corrupt justice system are looking and using the human rights bill in the ECHR. Good evening, Russell. The digital ID would be very much against quite a few laws in the ECHR. And it would also contravene some of ours here as well. The security implications, you know, you look at the institutes that have been hacked, how big they are. You know, lose your phone, lose your life, basically. But the thing is, he said it won't be a legal requirement. Now, this made me remember when Boris set the guidance over COVID. Remember, it was only advice. How would the police react to digital ID? It's not law. Think about how they acted back then over advice, and think about how they'd overreact and abuse a digital ID, forcing people to show it just to get their information, which the government has already got anyway. Now, I personally don't think Starmer. Yes, Karen, Nokia dumb phone sales have shot through the roof, and the prices of second-hand ones are rocketing as well. I don't need to. I've already got 2 old Samsungs, which are totally dumb, and the 2 I've got here, the more modern ones, don't accept them apps anyway. It don't even accept the emergency ones, so I won't be getting anything on them. But yeah, you know, will Starmer be able to bring this home? I don't think so. There's too many laws, and even in the House and amongst his own people, there is too much opposition for it to be pushed through. What it's done is overshadowed and put a smoke screen across everything else that's been going on with them. But the biggest thing now, it's got people thinking again, dividing those that are for it, those that are against it. So yet again, he's put 2 lots of people against each other. Now, as I said before, all what he wants to do is going to happen very, very quickly now. Because I believe what he's doing is causing as much division as he can to stop us getting together and fighting one thing at a time against them. He's throwing everything out there. He's throwing all his cards on the table, hoping to cause division, confuse people, and get them arguing amongst themselves about what he's saying, than rather than arguing against him. They've done it before, and they're just trying to overwhelm us. Now, we've got this big petition out there. Hasn't reached 3 million yet, but there was reportedly 3 million at the big protest in London. Now, they're obviously the same sort of frame of mind as us. They want the country back. They wanted all this to stop. So why didn't that petition instantly hit 3 million? And there's millions more around the country that feel the same as us. So really, that should be up around 5-6 million by now. But I was chatting to somebody the other day about it, and they said people are hesitant to sign because of the information you've got to give to sign it. Your email, your name. So yes, you do have to give them. Matt, good evening. But yeah, you do have to give them a certain amount of information to sign the petition, which the government can see. But believe me, by not signing it, they will be getting a lot more of your information, and they will interfere totally in your life. We won. Good evening, sweetheart. At this point, everybody's dropping in. I mean, I always know wee ones in the background, and there's a few others that I know are in the background. They just like to listen. But there is one I'd like to say good evening to, Peter, when you watch, mate. Now, for those who don't know, Peter, for some reason or other, it could well be work or other commitments, but he never gets to actually see these streams on a Wednesday night. He seems to view them either on a Thursday or a Friday. But he does contribute quite a lot in the comments, and everything, more or less everything he says, is, if he's not for something I've said, he absolutely puts his card, put mine. He's very respectful. So if you want to go and have a look and interact with him, don't leave him out there on his own. I mean, I answer every comment anyway, as you know, except for the fucking video that got 6 million plus views. I couldn't keep up with them. I mean, there was just thousands of comments coming in each day, and I started off keeping up with them, but as time went by, I was getting further behind.
He was in meltdown.
Oh, total meltdown. So I had to turn the comments off. But yeah. But no, Peter seems a nice guy. He's been there for a while, and because of the way he communicates, I believe he watches the stream afterwards. So thank you for watching, Peter. And the comments do help. They all help the analytics, although YouTube never lets me go anywhere with it. But I mean, he brought little up about the ID, and most of them didn't, which I found very weird. But I believe that's why it's there. It's a smoke screen. But for all of them to spend a 3-day conference basically calling everybody that doesn't support them or think like them racists. Well, that's no better than one group of one majority group that's parading on the streets all the time. They call for jihad. What's the difference? Yeah, that's no problem at all, mate. We know there's people that, and to be honest, I used to do it on other streams, but I don't bother with them now. We were always the chief lurker, absolutely. She's been with us a long time. But yeah, cool.
She's also, I think, our closest neighbour.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know of anybody else in the stream that's closer than she is.
But yeah, apparently waving the English flag makes us racist. But all of a sudden, they wave it and they're patriotic. No.
I wish he did wave one.
I mean, the thing is, it's not who's holding the flag. Far from it. It's the reason you're stood under it or holding it. You know, they claim waving it is causing division. Never has before. So I don't know where they got that from.
Bloody foreigners.
But you know, they've always bent over backwards to appease any minority group. You know, remember BLM? Could this be why they're not proscribing Antifa? You know, to me, now I've got this written down because I was just writing some notes earlier on and it came out of me pen and I can't remember where it come from. But, you know, with all these groups and cultures, minorities, whatever, that they're trying to squeeze into this country, I see it as the UK is a round hole. And Labour are trying to force a square peg through it. And it won't fit. A square peg is not compatible with a round hole. The same as many cultures and the way of life is not compatible with ours. And it will never fit. No matter how hard you hit that fucking square block with a hammer, it is not going to fit in a fucking round hole. And that's what Starmer's trying to do. Unbelievable. There's fucking notes everywhere. Look. Oh, yeah. Ration has changed now. Yeah, Moo, the meaning of many words, they flipped and changed around to suit themselves. I mean, they've made a few up along the way as well. We know that. But, yeah, you know, it's like the wokeism, the pronoun bollocks and stuff like that. I mean, the idiots that are in power, I mean, Lammy, you know, he can't decide whether or not men can grow fucking cervixes. As the last I heard, he said they could. I mean, standing in front of the world, basically, on that conference stage and saying Farage went to Nazi training school or something.
It's all they can do, though, is call each other names. Conservatives and the Labour Party have just got into mudslinging.
Yeah, and that's all it's going to be now. He's waged open war on reform and those that follow him. And anybody that waves a flag is going to be branded the same as a racist. Good evening, Loafer.
But they were waving the flags, going, "Look at us waving our flags."
Yeah, they look pathetic at the end of that conference, all sat there with their little...
Oh, did you know, Rachel? Did you notice Rachel from accounts dropped her flag and bent down to pick it up, couldn't reach it, and she looked so worried.
Apparently, she was almost crying as well.
There was something going on there. She looked
James,
so worried.
Thoughts on Advance UK? It's not really one I've looked into much, to be honest, James. You know, I'll be honest, I don't think they're big enough to be a threat to anybody. It's always going to be, we didn't want the two-party race all the time, but that's looking the way that this one is going to go. Yeah, there are others out there that say the right things. But this is what I was going to say, going off my notes for a minute. This is what I was going to say about Starmer. Now, he's been slating reform endlessly for 3 days over different things they want to do. They want to try this, they want to do that, they want to do the other. Now, he's absolutely slating them for it. They haven't even tried to do any of it yet. All they've done is talked about it. You've tried to do the bollocks you talked about, Starmer, and you fucked it up. So accept the slating that people are giving you and stop slating other people off. You've tried and made a balls up of it. Maybe reform will do exactly the same, but we won't know until they're in power. The same with any of the parties. The Tories have had their time more than long enough, and they fucked up ever since they got in there, really. Or the latest version of it. Again, they slated everybody and they fucked up exactly the same way as they said everybody else would. You know, and this is why I've always said you can't take a politician on their word when they say I'm going to do something. Because 9 times out of 10, they can't. There might be a genuine reason why they fail, why they can't do what they want to do. In which case, that would be accepted. But to absolutely fucking lie and not even try, that don't cut, does it? But, yeah. I mean, there's still so much that they're covering up and hiding. I mean, yeah, we're seeing on mainstream media now, I think it was today, that 7 guys from the grooming gangs got sentenced. And there have been 1 or 2 others that have been put down for the same thing. Not put down, but jailed. With many getting off as well with just bail and shit like that. Or out on licence. Or suspended sentence as well, I suppose. But that's a handful compared to how many are out there. You know? Are they hanging off, trying to drag people in and that until the Islamophobia laws come in? I mean, mainstream media today have made a point about the guy they tracked all the way over to Spain or wherever it was, got him back. Funny how they can investigate things right away out there, but they don't look at things here. And the fact that the police are still not recording many, many crimes or reports of crimes by immigrants. They are falsifying the figures and deliberately keeping them low. We all know the reasons why. But, yeah, It's, and again, the big thing now with Michelle Mone. I won't call her the Baroness because people like her don't deserve their titles. Bit like most of them in Westminster, and some mayors, and some police officers. None of them deserve their titles, and that's why I never use them in videos or anything. I call them by name or a nickname. I never call them by their title. But a lot of people didn't realise that the COVID inquiry is still going on. And the last module that finished was, I believe, the financial one into the PPE or the PPE investigation. Now, the High Court has said they've got to pay back 122 million, I think it was, over what they were supposed to have supplied and didn't. Well, the fact that none of it fucking worked and it still spread like wildfire anyway, it was all a waste of money. But you know, I mean, they went on about that. Now, the High Court, just after COVID, said there'd been fraud committed all around the PPE. Okay, they've got to pay back 122 million. Where's the sentence for them if they committed fraud? Shouldn't they be banged up under investigation? I mean, to me, fraudulently claiming hundreds of £1 million is a hell of a lot more fucking serious than someone posting a meme on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever. That's how far down the list they put defrauding millions from the government or from the people. It was taxpayers' money, wasn't it? Just saying. Just putting it out there.
Well, it was made up money, wasn't it? So now it's our debt.
Yeah.
Which is even worse because it's on interest.
Only post 30 words online. Well, you say that, Karen. I mean, they've YouTube admitted that they overreacted, as they put, with shutting people down over COVID. Whereas, you know, I had 2 suspensions and several videos removed for putting out actual facts. It was silly things like going the wrong way with the links about showing facts and shit like that. But everything I put out was bang on. It was all official fucking data from the government or one of their departments. Haven't heard whether I'm going to get those videos put back up or whether I'm going to get my warnings and shit rescinded.
How about compensation for the
compensation?
Time
yeah, for the time I lost. Yeah.
Can't claim money because you're not monetized.
Yeah, the trouble is then we won't know exactly what's hanging up the lamppost, will we?
We want, if you're going to go into making them, I'll order one now, please. No, 2, 3, because I've got 4. I've got a feeling I definitely want one, and I've got a feeling some of my friends will want one too, or family. Probably be a dozen by the time I add them all up.
Yeah, absolutely, Moo. I mean, again, why is the contract for that going to his son? You know, I mean, that just smacks in the face of corruption. It really does. And to be honest, it doesn't really surprise me. Doesn't surprise me in the least.
There's a term for it. Come on, Moo, you know.
Insider trading.
I was going to say it's insider trading, but
But then it makes me think, is this what he had in mind when he originally bought up the digital ID? You know?
Yeah, no, there's nepotism as well, but there's something else. It's just, I can't think what it is now. But yeah, employing your mates, insider trading is more shares and things, so.
Yeah. But it's just come into my head that I heard Starmer say in one of his fucking speeches. Now, he stood there trying to defend a certain group of the illegals coming across over the channel. And by that, I mean the young, fit, fighting age young men. And he gave half a dozen different reasons why they weren't running away, what they were running away from. And would you believe one of them was they're running away from fucking climate change? For crying out loud. The bloke's... He really does need a psych test. He really does. Good evening, Tony.
I had to Google it, but it's cronyism.
Oh, I must say, if you're in the background listening, good evening, Teresa. At some point in the future, she may introduce herself. I don't know if she's on YouTube. I did send her a link early today, or tell her where she could find the link if she wanted to pop in tonight. This is a personal thing. It's nothing to do with the channel.
Well, it is if she's watching.
Well, yeah. But yeah, Starmer. They're running away from climate change. That to me is just something that you just can't. No, it just doesn't work, does it? I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, he was another one that gave a speech, wasn't he? That prick Miliband. Ranting and raving. He was like fucking Hitler up there waving his finger and pointing and raising his voice. And the fact that we all laugh at him because we know how corrupt he is and what an absolute fucking pig's ear he's made of this so-called net zero that everybody said it wouldn't work, and we know it won't work and it costs too much.
And every other country is ditching it. Can't speak tonight.
Yeah, we need him back. We will. Maybe this time as he goes in, he'd like to lay a few claymores behind him. He'd get further. But no, that conference was just full of absolute bullshit. I mean, West Street him. Bring back Angela Rayner. Okay, yeah, he wants to bring another fraudster back into the fold, as it were. I'll tell you what, they couldn't have done any worse than put fucking Diane Abbott up there for the 3 fucking days. That's how bad it was to me. But West Streeting, attacking Farage, the Pope. But he came out that the NHS will quite happily support second cousin marriages or first cousin marriages, whatever it is. Now, we all know the problems that causes with that sort of inbreeding. Now, how much, bear in mind there's quite a few of them like that in this country already, how much does it cost the NHS to treat people from those relationships when these problems arise? Because don't forget, it's not just a physical thing. There's the mental thing behind it as well. You know, they're all going to need support. But he hasn't thought of that, has he? You know? Oh, it's my dry skin itching. Sorry about that, folks. Miraculous invention, then. I used to use the cat. But yeah, that's... These are questions that I don't hear people asking. Yeah, exactly, Tony. It's... And as from putting forward this... the digital hospital. Yeah, right. Your computer's going to be able to tell you you're ill. An AI that knows nothing about you, can't touch you, can't feel you, is going to tell you what's wrong with you and that you need Big Pharma's product to survive. I mean, they're saying that it's going to create more appointments at GPs. Well, our local GP surgery has already got an online booking process for appointments.
Don't work.
And it don't work, no. Absolutely it don't. The only way you can get an advanced appointment there is walk through the fucking door and ask them. Because that's the only time they take any notice.
I moaned at the receptionist ages ago that it doesn't work, and she went, no, it won't.
Yeah, exactly, wee one. Exactly. And you look at the price that they're paying in some councils now for taxis to take these people backwards and forwards to a doctor's appointment. I've already turned down one appointment this week. Well, last week. This week. Yeah, this week. In another one of the hospitals, the other side of the city. Well, we won't drive in the city. Neither of us do it. We hate it. Patient transport for an half an hour appointment, you can wait 4 hours for it to turn up to pick you up. You have to go 4 hours early and then wait at the hospital. Another 4 hours wait for the bloody thing coming back. Yeah, on my record, it clearly states the only hospital I can safely get to is our local one. And they tried to tell me it was for some CT scan. And they can't do it at our local hospital because they haven't got a scanner. So I ran out and called her a liar. I said, they have. She said, how would you know? I said, well, one, I worked there for 10 years. I said, two, I've had many a scan in there for blood clots on the brain when I've had my strokes. So don't tell me they haven't got one.
Did one on me, did one
on
my
you
mother.
had one. So I said, don't matter if I got to wait a bit further because it's another heart scan. They've obviously found something on the ultrasound that they did at Good Hope, the new local hospital, or Last Hope, as some people call it, or No Hope even. But they've always been good to me. Probably because I work there and most of them know me. But yeah, telling me that the hospital can't do it when I know damn well they can. This is what you're up against. And they'll teach AI to lie like that. They already have in certain circumstances. Yeah, it is. It is, James. It's getting really bad. But there again, there's a lot of people turning up at hospitals or the GPs because of the scaremongering. Not a day goes by on Facebook where I don't see at least 2 or 3 dozen of these. Oh, this variant, that's coming. The symptoms are this, the symptoms are that. Government aren't saying anything. Mainstream media aren't saying anything. But the people online are seeing and being fed that. You've really got to look at things before you take any actions now. A simple act like walking up the road with a phone in your hand that you're holding it like a camera. That's instant question from the police. If they ain't about, there's always some fucker that's ready to steal it from you.
I was going to say that's the bigger issue these days.
I'm just waiting for the one to come past on his fucking bike, try and get mine or yours, because my walking stick's going straight through his fucking front spokes. I watch for him.
But neither of us walk around on the phone unless we're actually making a phone call.
And the only other time I have mine out is if I am filming, which isn't very often now because I don't often go out in public. Simply because I can't. I just get too tired. Yeah, people say, "Oh, you look all right when you put your holiday videos and stuff like that up." I said, "Yeah, but you're only seeing a couple of minutes window at a time. You're not seeing the other parts where I'm flaked out in the chair or asleep in the car."
Give me 10 minutes. I know we're here, but I'll start filming in a bit, and then I'll get the gear set up, and then where's me puffer?
Well, this year I forgot half the mounts for the bloody cameras, didn't I? So there was never going to be a lot happen. But yeah, unfortunately, James, because of my medical conditions, mine's always with me. One, to phone for help if I need it.
No.
I've got an automatic one button press to header, which is an alert. I quite often now, they don't send me a lot of letters for appointments, but my own GP is very good. He will actually ring me from his own phone, as it were, not get the receptionist to do it if he wants to see me or speak to me. And so do a lot of the consultants. I do speak to them a lot on there.
It's amazing what you can get if you complain and you're old and acting like Victor Meldrew just because.
Oh, it never used to be like that. I mean, I used to go in there screaming blue murder at them and kicking up such a fucking fuss.
They're fed up of
it was easier just to give me what I wanted.
I thought you were going to go away and you haven't. So.
I mean, for 2 years, I haven't had to make an appointment. They rang me and offered me an appointment or made one for me.
I'm phoning on behalf of the doctor. Doctor would like to see you. Yeah. When can you make it in?
Well, I shall have one coming up because he should have the other heart scan results by now. The one they cancelled that I was supposed to have had last Sunday, of all days, Sunday morning. They rung me about half hour, 3/4 an hour before and cancelled it, but made me another one for this Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've got to get up this
Yeah,
Saturday.
you got to get up at an ungodly hour to get me to the hospital again. Oh, and I'll take myself, but I know there ain't going to be nowhere to park.
Well, no.
And I can't use your blue badge because the car's in your name.
And I'm not paying another tenner for badge for you for the odd occasion that you might use it without me.
Yeah, ain't worth it. But, pardon me. But yeah, they're done. I mean, I've got my two here if I wanted to go down the route. You know, they both work. I mean, that one is the small one. I used to put my SIM card in when we were mountain biking, so I didn't have a bulky one with a big screen to get broke. That one has actually got a camera on it. They both still work. I've got all the chargers. I keep them charged regular. I've got the cases for them. And I've got the adapters to fit the different size SIM cards in them because they are full-size ones. But as I say, these S5s, I mean, it won't even accept YouTube on there as an app. So that's one of the reasons I don't film live outside. Both phones are the same model as well, Samsung S5s.
And the reason I don't go anywhere without my phone, but the GPS is turned off, is in case of an emergency, I need to be able to call somebody too. So
yeah, because how many times has your hip dislocated and what have you, you know?
Well, it's things like, you know, a flat tyre on the way home. I
Yeah.
pay for the RAC. I use the RAC.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And they come and sort me out so I don't have to get my lovely little hands dirty and I don't have to break a nail. Because I can't change a tyre. Change a wheel, sorry, I can't change.
And one final thing I picked up on today before we start talking about everybody else. That so-called top lady copper that was on mainstream media today giving a load of spiel and flannel. You know, coming out with, oh, well, we could do without the distractions of the hotels and stuff like that because it's taking us away from, yeah, lesbian nana, taking us away from protecting women and children. Well, to you, you dozy bint, I would say stop fucking chasing people over memes and comments that are just words. Yeah, I mean, investigate threats and stuff like that and grooming, but just persecuting for people for posting a meme that's a bit risque or a bit close to the limit or against the narrative, you would have more than enough fucking resources to do what you say you can't do.
You can't drive around in a van with Starmer is a wanker on the side either.
I mean, you know, she's just an absolute fanny fart. Is that a thing? It must be a thing. But yeah. I mean, again, the police, I mean, trying to say, a very small political party, you shouldn't really be driving around a fucking great big sign that Starmer's a wanker on the side of it, but I can see why. They tried to say that they were a proscribed group, an illegal group. You know, they're an official registered fucking political party. And they held the van out of spite because Yvette Cooper told them to do so. Was it Yvette Cooper? Yeah, I think it was Yvette Cooper. Well, one of them said, yeah, and they checked the van over every fucking nut and bolt and couldn't find a thing wrong with it. Ham sandwich prescribed group. But anyway, guys, that completes my roundup of my notes that I always do on a daily basis. It's what I use to put my videos together when I've got the energy to do it. I'm not feeling too bad tonight, so we'll probably make the full 2 hours again this week. And yes, I am coughing less and rasping less. We're going back to smoking rather than vaping. And it doesn't seem to react or make any difference with me steroids that I have to pump into my lungs every day. Still waiting from your spinal scan. That's you.
You need to chase that stitch.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Chase them up, Stitch. Because the longer you leave it, the further it will get buried. And guess what? That will probably be an email.
A notification saying you've gone live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Telling me I'm going live at 7 o'clock at fucking 8 o'clock. Well done, YouTube.
I was going to say
you do amaze me. Yeah, James, it is, mate. The thing was, we did both actually give up smoking. I mean, as your dad knew, for years I smoked weed. In the last probably 20 years, not for enjoyment, it was part of my medication regime, because it helps keep my leg muscles and that calm, because I've got restless leg syndrome, and I'm prone to cramps, and just getting up and walking across the room, I could end up with cramps in my legs. And I mean, on the floor, tears in the eyes, cramps. But I was determined to give up the weed, which, we said, okay, fine, well, I'll give up the weed, let's give up the smoking all told, which we did. And to help the cravings go away, we started using a vape. But as time went on, the vape was making things worse. And it was also giving me like a Dalek voice. So, many people were saying, well, go back to smoking, because obviously, that's what your lungs are used to. And yeah, it started a few weeks back again, and it's been a lot easier. Giving up was never about the expense, but yes, Stitch, how the fuck can the coppers arrest her for calling herself a name? You know what I mean? It's, she just called herself I won't use the word because apparently people take offence to it. It's a word that was used quite commonly for many, many years, even on advertising slogans in public. But apparently it was deemed offensive that she called herself this.
Give me a clue, I don't
know. Hang on. Ooh.
We can proudly... Yes.
Okay, I just turned the mic off there while I... Yeah,
it's all right. I did know. I'd just forgotten what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a common phrase when we were kids.
Yeah, James, that there's a lot that have come out about it. And yes, we were. That was the word. Obviously, I have to be a bit careful running the channel on what I say and what I don't say now. I have got in trouble for it before.
But when we were younger, that word was used to call somebody an idiot.
Yeah.
Whereas now you might be a C word or whatever else. It was just calling somebody stupid. Yes,
we would. And it actually had that word on the plastic dogs outside the charity shops.
And the little girl with the box outside the... It was there.
It was there in public, but all of a sudden,
in plain sight.
Since wokeness hit the world, it's another word that can be classed. Just looking at that, you got to cut my hair the weekend, baby. It's getting out of control again.
Okay, you can cut mine as well.
Dr. Kersey, good evening. Been a while? But yeah, go back to this bloody digital hospital. I mean, it just ain't going to work, is it? It just ain't going to be working.
The problem is going to be all the young kids that have got the apps are going to book their appointments for their stubbed toe or whatever it is. And us olds that are dying in the corner aren't going to be able to get an appointment because we haven't got the app, and so can't book one.
There is still many, many people that don't go online.
We do online medication requests, but only because I've set it up for both of us. So I go and do his online request.
She orders my pills. Of which there is many. And they're all full as well. There's inhalers, steroids, puffers. There's bloody all sorts in there.
Just a druggie.
But, it's like I said, the GP surgeries now have become nothing but an online pill dispenser service. You can't diagnose somebody's problem by talking on a phone. Yeah. Mine ain't got room in the cupboard to fit all that lot in. Pimp me out as a baby rattle. Hey, you don't need them pills inside me for me to rattle. You're near my joints and my bones. I'll walk across the room, I sound like a set of castanets some days. Especially on that screwed up shoulder, that one, it jumps about an inch and there's an almighty click as the two bones pass each other. Because don't forget, that's not connected by muscle and ligament anymore. It's just sort of hanging there. But funny enough, I didn't lose a lot of strength in the arm, just the shoulder, which I was quite surprised at. I mean, if I carry something heavy on with that one, you can see it drops right down where it's trying to pull the shoulder out. But there is a bit of restricted movement in it. I mean, there's places up my back and other areas that it won't bend to reach. And I'm not being perverted, hence the back scratcher. And we've even got a spare one of them.
No, you haven't.
Well, you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, mine stitch. I'll be sat here chatting to somebody and I'll move my arm just to pick something up off my table in front of me and there'll be an almighty click and I'm like, oh. Or I'll stand up and I'll stumble and almost fall over as my knee cracks. And
I'm just old.
Spent too many years abusing my body. And not in that way, by the way.
I was going to say, don't blame me.
I think I've discovered just about everywhere around me that hurts at some point or other. You got a purple one.
To match your farts.
Oh dear. I mean, the amount of times I wander over to Ever and I'll stand in front of, quick, scratch me back up the middle, I can't reach it. Takes me half hour to get upstairs. I'll tell you what, the stairs are starting to really, really affect me now, Doc. If I just go up to the toilet, I'll have to sit and have a rest before I come back down or have a go on that, which never leaves my side now. That's just something I've got to get used to. They told me shouldn't get any worse, but how can you say, well, how can it not get worse? I've had one stroke, I've had one blood clot on the brain, both of which are likely to occur again. But they did say what I am suffering from, it isn't never going to get any better. And that's why the WDP wrote me off a year or two ago, because I can't work. I mean, yeah, people have said, well, you sit in front of a computer using it all day. I say, yeah, but with my memory, I can't use it as a job because I lose track of what I'm doing. I lose focus. I can sit there like tonight, 2 hours. I'm just sat in front of it, chatting, I mean, Heather does it for a living, although only part-time now. She's used a computer all the time through her working life. Well, since they've been invented, because that was in our lifetime.
I was going to say, back in the early days, there weren't no computers.
But I haven't got that aptitude. And now with the memory the way it is, it's a real job to learn. A very real job to learn. So, I'm lucky if I... Yeah, it's, it was hard enough for me in late life learning to use the computer anyway, although that was before the stroke, and I did learn bloody quickly compared to most, and it surprised a lot of people what I did achieve in a short time, even me. But I enjoyed going back to college to learn. I need the basics.
And you had tech support at home.
And I had my tech support at home. As you know, I quite often used to crash my little laptop when I was using that before I was given this one. And it was always Heather that had to sort any problems out. But now, I won't say I'm good at it, but I can generally find a problem if it ain't too badly hidden in different pages and apps and whatever, windows and things. I'll spend half an hour or so trying to figure something out before I call her now. And it's very annoying when she walks over, leans over my shoulder, presses a fucking button, and it's fixed.
The amount of times he's gone, it's broken. and I sit there and listen to him tell me what he did and how he did it. And yes, yeah, okay, let me, no, just let me, right, okay, just let me. And in the end, he will let me near the computer, and I go, click, click, there you go. Like, how did you do that? Or he'll forget how to downsize a screen. When you click full screen on a video or something, and he'll do that to show me and go, how do I get it back? How do I press escape? Escape will bring it back. No, I don't have to come and have a look at it and click it. It's not magic.
Honestly, James, there's been many a time where she has had to physically stop me launching a laptop out the window.
It's favourite one, and it's everybody's. When the computer decides it's having an issue on the mouse. He's opened like 30 screens on Google, and the computer is going, how many pages do you want me to open? I can't do this any faster. And eventually the first one will come up and he'll go, oh, there you go. It's done it. It's all right. What the fuck? How many?
Yeah, and usually by that time the computer's gone, I've had enough of this, and it has a hissy fit because I've asked it to do too many things.
Well, you're telling it to shut down and it's still opening the 10th screen on Google.
Yeah, it's just the way I imagine tech is you press the button and it happens instantly. I've learned now that it don't. And I used to have no patience at all, did I, with it?
You still don't have patience.
It's,
you are better.
But
when you get the laptop up to do the update, it's still slow. It's still going. And I'm like, yes, it's still installing. Just leave it. It will take most of the day. 3 hours later, this is still not working. No, it's still installing. It's supposed to be instant, not when you leave it for 3 months.
I mean, this is one of the reasons that I get asked to join groups on Facebook and that. And I'm quite happy communicating with them, posting on their posts, posting comments and what have you. But during my day, I've got so much going on in front of me on screens and looking at things, listening to things. It's that constant interruption of notifications that somebody's posted. The way I use Facebook, basically, anybody that I interact with, if they post anything or post comments, yes, I get an alert that they posted on there, but it's not constant. This is something I used to get on other platforms. It was just constant alerts, or adverts or stuff like that. And I can't be doing with that sort of shit. This is weekly group therapy. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think if we put everybody together on here, we might just be able to put a perfect human being together using bits from everybody else. Good evening, Brian. Turn off all notifications. Well, I don't get any from YouTube anyway now, Brian. Whenever I post a video, I have to keep going and looking to see if there's any comments or reactions on there. Even when I go into it and look through them, it won't quite often doesn't show me them. I have to click through so many searches just to get the bloody things to come up. It's just the way YouTube harass people, make it harder for you to do what you want to do. Only if we find some bits random on eBay going cheap. Those settings. Yeah, the thing is, Brian, now I've got the settings set up exactly the same as I've got on here as I've got on my laptop. Now, here's the weird thing. If I turn my laptop on, it gets notifications. Yeah, I've got them all turned on here, the same as I have on there. It's the same as the screen reduction thing that Heather was on about. Now, YouTube, I normally have it set up a certain way, my home screen, and I can adjust it backwards and forwards to adjust the size on the screen. Everybody knows that. Even I know that and know how to do it. But on my primary YouTube channel, it won't set those settings. I cannot adjust it to those settings that I used to use. It just jumps and it won't do it. Yet when I switch over to my backup channel, it's absolutely fine, working as it should. Facebook works as it should. StreamYard works as it should. It's only the YouTube channel.
But when I Googled that, it said there'd been an update on YouTube, which meant you couldn't alter the number of small icons you get on the screen.
Yeah. Search how to turn it off online. That may help you navigate the perils of the internet. My idea of turning it off online, mate, was unplugging it. Do you remember the first week? When the computer told me I couldn't shut it down, I said, watch this, and I pulled the fucking plug out of the wall. Yeah, the computer come up.
He still had an application.
Yeah, I know now. It was I still had something open and it was doing something and it wouldn't shut it down until I finished that.
I'm just letting the world know. But
the first thing that came out of my head was, tell me I can't fucking turn you off. Have some of this. Yeah, I know better now, but
I was going to say you have improved from there. Not much, but you have improved slightly.
Under a blood red sky. Good evening.
Everybody's coming out.
Everybody's dropping in tonight. If you pull the plug 3 times, it goes into repair mode. I mean, it is really, it's an endless source of amusement to me. I mean, I could never envisage myself doing this sort of thing on a computer a few years back.
And he is nowhere as near as bad as I make out for him to be. But it can be, you know, sometimes just, yeah, no.
A lot of it depends on my frame of mind and what I'm doing at the time. If I'm trying to do something and it won't work the way I want it to, I get very, very frustrated with it. That was my big problem, and that's...
You go into panic mode. It's
Yeah.
not working. It's broken. I must have been hacked.
I used to ring her at least 3 times a week at work when something went wrong, and I'd have to sit here all day looking at it, frozen up, doing nothing.
The one day, and it wasn't until I got home that I realised what he'd done. You will know that the bar, taskbar along the bottom, you can have at the bottom, at the top, on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side if you know what you're doing. And all you need to do is click on it and move it to where you want to do. But he managed to do this accidentally. So now the taskbar was down the left-hand side of his screen, which meant it was broken. And he sat there and would not use it until I got home to fix it. So, yeah, it's a learning curve. And I take the pee out of him because I've known about it for a very long time. But as he says, I've used computers at work for far too many years. Far too many years. And even though computers weren't really in existence, because we're talking pre-Amstrad, there wasn't a home computer. You didn't have a home computer.
Is that what you did the other day? What Brian's just put there, is that what you did the other day?
But I was looking at being a computer programmer when I was 16. Clear the pee as soon as you can. Yeah, clear. Done it. He's got that many apps on there, Brian. The C drive's near enough full. My daughter-in-law is bringing a machine and a new primary hard drive, and she's going to plug them in and clone it for him. So he's got a bigger C
drive.
It's just the amount of apps he's got on there. But yes, I've done all the cleaning and tidying and emptying of recycle bins and clearing bit caches and all the rest of it. Did all that. Daughter-in-law came round a few days later because my son's car was delivered here. He's always used this as his safe.
Yeah, you don't need to go into that.
So I came to pick that up, and she had a look and she went, "You've done this?" And I went, "That's all right." She says you can't delete anything else. There's nothing else spare in there, unless you delete some apps. So I said, yeah, sort him out a bigger hard drive.
She is, well, she's a tech troubleshooter, isn't she, for the company she works for?
Oh yeah, she is the IT department,
and she's bloody good at it. I'm quite lucky that way. I've had people around me that have helped me, showed me, taught me. But the problem is somebody can give me advice over a phone or something like that, but unless they're sat here showing me what to do, it doesn't compute. You know, I learn by watching it being done and what it is, looking at the screen and that.
And I will say, I don't let you watch me when I'm into cleaning up and deleting files.
Because she's too quick, because I interrupt her too much.
No. If you learn how to do it, you will probably get it wrong.
Switched.
And then moan that all your settings have disappeared and you've lost all your passwords because you've ticked.
Oh, that is the
box.
Biggest bugger for me is if I lose my passwords because I've forgotten most of them. Every time it asks for a password, I have to set a new password for everything. But,
yeah, James, he would never cope. Neither would I.
I use it the way that I find it easiest for me. It's like people will show me things what to do, and they go through this, that, and the other, and I try and do as less the number of clicks as possible to get into something, and usually I find a way into it that way. But
I had a friend for many years that swore by Linux. My brother always swore by. Oh God, it's gone.
yeah, I mean, one of the usual ones with me is one of the apps I use, like my editing suite or my downloader for downloading other videos and stuff like that. They quite often put up, a new version, an update. What I tend to do is click on, update, but then I forget to install it because most of them aren't an automatic install. And the things are going around in the system waiting to be updated and stuff like that. But I'm getting there. Yeah, I shall know a lot more about it when I'm in the grave than I won't be in a grave, but when I'm gone than when I do. But, and it doesn't help having memory glitches. I can do something one day and then the next day I've totally forgotten how to do it.
Well, a moment ago, I remembered my brother's favourite operating system, and I got Ubuntu. Is that what it is? That another Ubuntu or something like that?
Oh, you're talking to Brian now?
No, James. James says switch to Linux.
James, yeah.
I've got to make the use that, but I really can't think now. My brother always used to swear by another one.
Just so you, have you been in the stream long, Brian? I'll wait for him to answer that.
That's it, yeah, Ubuntu. Thank you for confirming, Brian.
Yeah, so that isn't Gary then, and the reason why. That's fair enough. I didn't know. I know you're usually lurking in there somewhere listening, but I didn't know how, when you came in. That's kind of thrown me back a bit tonight learning that. But yeah, as I say, like life is never guaranteed, and it's sad when we do lose people. It's just a fact of life. Gordo, good evening, mate. And like I said earlier, it doesn't make it any easier when it's somebody that you've never met, but you've grown to know as a friend,
Like I said earlier, this is a little family.
Yeah, it is. It is like a family in this community. And
but with my daughter and what she does, we've learned to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because she is a funeral director, so.
And this is how we get to know that there isn't as many deaths, or there's more deaths than they're telling us. Gary Hart, Gordo. That's actually his son that's commenting in his name. He died on the way to hospital to get some treatment.
But I will say, there's something out there at the moment, because my daughter didn't have any problems with space or overcrowding during COVID. But when I saw her last week, about 10 days ago, they were working out how the hell they were going to get all the bodies in, because they were full.
Yeah.
And they got 8 funerals in the week. They're only a small company. 8 funerals during the week and no room in the freezer.
Yes. James, thank you for coming in tonight and letting us know.
And you're welcome to keep coming.
You're more than welcome to keep coming in, mate, if you want to speak to people that got to know your dad. You know, it's he was always a great contributor. He was always in and out of the channel, and yeah, he didn't make a lot of sense some of the times, but there again, neither did I. You know what I mean? But hit by a violin and a clarinet and a French horn. I think it was. Yeah, here we go. Gordo's in the house.
His jokes were on a par with Gary's, though.
Yeah. But, you know, saying about that, I mean, there's been, another 3 deaths this week in the channel. You know, I've never hidden my feelings about these people coming across, but it's still saddening to hear that people are losing their lives out there. You know? I mean,
you'd think they'd watch the telly, though, and see that, you know.
But this shows me perfectly how much they value life, or not value life, as the case would be. I mean, I would never, ever think of putting my child in a rubber boat and trying to cross 22 miles of water like they do. You know, they seem to think it's an acceptable risk. Well, to what they've had, maybe it is, compared to what they get when they get here. But wouldn't it be better if you wanted to go to another country to try and go through the legal, proper channels? And as they say, most of them can't because they haven't got the papers.
But once you're in France, you're not in danger.
Yeah.
So why get in an effing boat?
And they're getting ridiculous now. I mean, there was a report of one the other day that had over 125 people in it.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Exactly.
And forgive me, James, if I appear flippant, but it's like I say, we've learned to deal with these issues, and no disrespect is meant, by the way.
No, none whatsoever, mate. We're life taught. We need chores. Yeah, lots of them. Well, that's all right. If they've got global warming, we won, maybe they might move up. You know, they've come across us as far as halfway across the Atlantic. They've been tracked. They just don't seem to want to cross that Atlantic ridge. Although there is very, very viable film of great white sharks off the top coast of Scotland up near the oil rigs when they've caught them on film. And I got to admit, they do look like great white sharks.
Maybe that's what we need in the channel. Nigel's going to mobilise the Navy.
Yeah. But no, as I've always said, and I've said for the last few years now, nothing is going to change in this country, even if they did offshore processing, because they would just still let a load of them through. Until they stop them coming in, we ain't never going to sort out what we've already got. And they just can't seem to get their heads around that. Like I've been saying, all the little things they've been putting in place over time, gradually, just tiny little things that you wouldn't notice, like a small law change, shit like that. Now we're seeing the final dots being put in place with what they're proposing. Eventually, even the sheep will join them dots and find out the truth. So, yeah, they do look a bit, they're from the same strain, as it were, Gordo. Obviously, the size is a bit different. The dorsal fin is a slightly different shape, although not much. But the biggest one usually is, if you can see the mouth and you can see the shape of the teeth between a poor beagle and a great white. I mean, my mate Phil Brits, run a big boat in Padstow many years ago. And he was the one that actually made that report that he'd seen one out there. And Phil, as I said, he's fished all around the world, and he's fished for great whites. He's very, very experienced skipper. And if he said it was one, I'm 99% sure that that's what he saw. He's not the sort of bloke to make that mistake. But there again, you know, poor beagle can reach 600 pounds around our shores.
I've caught a shark.
You've caught several sharks. But yeah, it's one of them mysteries until one gets washed up or, you know, DNA tested. You just don't know. You just don't know. And the sea's a very weird place.
Wet.
Wet. And usually cold around our coast as well.
Especially now they've taken out the power station.
Yeah, no hot water being pumped in there.
It's like somebody's turned the tap off. It's bloody cold out there.
Stitch, you'd be surprised how close they don't come in. You don't need to go out there to see them. I mean, I've seen videos and I've seen a couple of things myself. I mean, I've seen blue sharks in the harbour. There's a video out there of a thresher shark in the harbour.
But a dogfish is a shark, Stitch. So yeah, you can, and they come right in. So, but anyway,
I mean, there's even a video out there of a basking shark, a young basking shark in the harbour. I mean, we have got some dangerous fish around our coast. You know, it's just people don't realise they're there. Even on a nice sandy swimming beach, paddling beach, 9 times out of 10, there are poisonous fish.
Weaver.
You know.
Is that the weaver?
The weaver, the greater weaver. That's usually in a little bit deeper water. The lesser weaver, the little one, it can be as small as a minnow. But I'll tell you what, you fucking stand on one, that done half hurt. Yeah, they will grind, Brian. I mean, down in Cornwall, regular now every year, you can stand on the cliffs at certain times and you can actually watch the tuna out there feeding.
Oh my God, that picture, that tuna.
Yeah.
Tell people.
Oh, the one at the oil rig, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture out there. I haven't been able to verify it, but there again, I haven't looked deeply into it.
But this is a fisherman's tale.
But they apparently filmed or took a picture of a tuna, again, round one of the rigs that they reckon was 18 foot long, 5.4 meters.
You reckon it might just fit in the lounge?
Fuck it. That is a hell of a... You imagine the amount of tins it would take.
Few sushi rolls.
More sharks are inland. Yeah, most of them have got a title in front of them. Yeah, there is, bro. I mean, we used to go snorkeling and what have you around the rocks and that for lobsters and stuff. But yeah, you'll be surprised what's down there. I mean, the easiest way to see what's in the water if you're by an estuary and it's a nice sandy one that you can walk on. Go down at night at high tide or even low tide with a powerful torch on a calm night and just shine it through the water. And you'll be surprised how close the fish will come to you. You know, I've seen bass well over 10 pounds swimming around my feet in knee-depth water at night when we were crabbing. Yeah, a lot of people do, but they have actually, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe they've put them under the same rule as the dolphins now. You're not supposed to harass them in the water. I mean, I know there was videos put out of the guys down on the south coast swimming with them, but that was the fish coming to them. Well, fish, it's mammal, isn't it? A dolphin. But yeah, I believe it is. Same with shark fishing. You're not allowed to lift the shark out of the water now. You're supposed to unhook it in the boat, in the water, unless it's for scientific research. But I mean, there was one incident down in Cornwall many years ago when me and my mate were on the boat. We had a party of half a dozen students out there that wanted to experience sea fishing. And to make it a bit safer for them, it was a bit rough if you went out too far that day. I mean, we'd go out 8-10 miles, no problem. But we said, we'll stay right inshore and we'll just fish up and down the coast along the rocks and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, these students started screaming and shouting, "Shark, shark, shark." Well, I saw the dorsal fin on it and knew straight away it was a basking shark. So I just took my shirt and my welly and I threw myself over the side. And the panic amongst these bloody students. "Oh, he's in there. Look at the size of that shark. That's well over 10 foot. And it was absolutely hilarious. You can literally see electric field. Yeah, it's a very, very, very low voltage, as you know, Brian. Sometimes as you stir the water up, obviously you see these algae blooms. And by disturbing the water, that's what you're doing, is they're producing that little bit of power, work a chemical reaction, whatever, and they glow. Bioluminescence. But you look at some of these documentaries, and I love watching them, the deep sea filming, when they're down there, or the ROVs that they put down there. I mean, some of the stuff you can see. Yeah, and they still reckon there's thousands and thousands down there that they haven't seen yet, hasn't been discovered. As they say, we know more about the universe than we do about what's at the bottom of our oceans.
Aliens.
That was one of the theories, and that's another one they're using now as a smokescreen, and especially in America. Oh, we've got aliens. We're releasing the truth of them now. There's an invasion force coming. I mean, come on. If you're going to create a smokescreen, at least make it plausible for most people.
Well, it is plausible. Have you not seen the size of the spaceship?
Well, yeah, size of a small planet.
The may or may not hit Mars, and may or may not contain the Asgard.
The Asgard, yeah. What we don't want is the replicators.
No. Or the Wraith.
The Wraith. Oh, yeah, I don't want the Wraith.
Yeah, we don't want the Wraith. We don't want...
As you can probably tell, we're science fiction buffs here. I could tell you every fictional nasty alien right back from the 50s.
Emperor Ming.
I can go back before that.
It's just the first one that came to mind.
The first one, and you can look this up if I get the title right. Plan from Planet Z, or was it 7? Plan 7 from Planet whatever.
What?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones where they really tried to put special effects in. I don't mean going back to the Lionel Jeffries one and, the first man in the moon, but I'll tell you what, we won. If an alien stood in front of me and gave me a manifesto that I think would work, I'd vote for the fucker.
Well, only if Nigel stood down.
Oh, pardon me. You don't want Zorg in charge, Stitch. You got to remember he sacked loads of taxi drivers just to get rid of one, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't know that. Planet Z is a Zildjian symbol.
Just hope they taste nice. You're going to go hunting them, are you, Moo? But there again, that there is, as it's been released over the last couple of years under the Freedom of Information, there is a lot of evidence to say that they've been here, they've been there.
Oh, I see.
They've, reverse engineered stuff they've left behind, or they crashed and they've kept. And, there is a lot of evidence. There is a lot of misleading evidence as well. Yes, we won. Nanu. Shazbat.
I am a believer. I have seen them. Not personally face to face. I've only seen the chips. But I believe.
I daren't use one of Mork's favourite terms because, welcome your immenseness. Shazbat. But yeah, he was so funny as that character.
He was just such a funny man.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely amazing comedian.
One of my favourite actors of all time.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
Yes.
Heather does. I've always been on the fence. I believe in what I can touch, feel, taste. I've seen things with my eyes that I can't explain. I'll say that. Whether it's connected to paranormal or whatever, I don't know. But as I couldn't prove it, I'm not a denier that there's a lot of stranger things that have happened. I've actually seen, I suppose you could call it a form of the paranormal. I've actually knew a pair of twins. Well, you wouldn't get a single twin, would you? A pair of twins that were very good friends of mine many, many years ago. And I remember asking them about this idea that where one feels pain, the other will feel it, and stuff like that. And they actually told me, and I'm inclined to believe them, that yes, they had experienced that sort of stuff. I mean, one of them woke up one morning and thought his brother had been in a car crash. When he actually come downstairs, he was told, yes, he had been involved in a crash, although it was only a minor one. But he said he felt it. He knew it. He said,
But look at that strange incident when I fell over in the shower. At exactly the same moment, my brother hit a patch of ice in the car. And where I spun 360 and fell onto the toilet seat, he spun 360 and went into a gate post. Almost exactly at the same moment in time, same day, same.
Anybody who names a kid after Zelda. Oh, fucking hell.
Wasn't Zelda the name of that goblin-looking witch thing in the kids?
Yeah. It was supposed to be a kiddies program, wasn't it?
Oh, but kids love things like that. My daughter's favourite film growing up, and I didn't let her watch it knowingly, was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, exactly, Stitch. That's the sort of thing.
Sarah Hawkes, thank you, Ewan.
That's the sort of thing that these lads were on about. I knew them for about 6 years, and it was just a question that come up one night. you know, and we weren't smoking weed or anything at the time. They didn't smoke it.
We had weeds. We had a lot little weed.
But, you know, with the aliens and spaceships and shit like that, now everybody says they see them, but I'll tell you what, you can see a lot of weird things up there when you're out at sea, when it's just pitch black. I mean, when I was night fishing, I quite often switch all the lights off and just lay there, get my eyes sorted, and just lay there looking up. And that's why I say I see things that I couldn't explain.
Mate. I state categorically, I have seen 2 UFOs that I still cannot explain to this day, and I have felt weird things when it comes to the paranormal. So yeah.
No, I mean, many people have, you know, felt temperature changes when they walk into a room and things like that. Well, with me, with my thin blood and everything else that's going on, I feel the cold a lot more than a lot of people do. You know, I'll notice the temperature dropping before anybody else and stuff like that. And I've got to admit that I've walked into a room or a building where, you know, yeah, I have felt a bit of a chill. No, I just put it down to, oh, I've come into a building, the draft's coming from a different direction. But, you know, like I say, unless I can prove it, then it's something else.
You just leave it as unexplained.
Yeah.
I, however, give it a name. That's the only difference between us.
Yeah. Well, what was the need to change that name, Brian? How many years had they been known as UFOs? You know,
it's so that you can differentiate between a flying object and an object in water.
No, it's not.
It is.
Oh, I suppose it could be rather than using a separate one like they do, yeah.
Because a UAP is
yeah, same as we would.
And is it a USP? I'm googling.
You're googling.
Come on, computer.
My little researcher in the background's doing her thing. Yeah, that's
Come
why
on,
I employ
we
her.
watch Ancient Aliens and things like that.
I'm always skeptical of these American programs on it, like what's the name, Ranch and what have you, because a lot of that is set up, and it's the same people that have done the setups on different programs.
Oh, right.
But,
I put it wrong. It's an unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
Yeah.
So because it doesn't have to be flying, it could be in the sea or in space or in blah, 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 blah.
Yes, Brian.
No, sorry, James. It's anomalous, not aerial.
She's just researched it. Yeah, Brian. The Americans, unlike us, I mean, yeah, we've got that deep secrecy thing going on in this country, but the Americans have always been a lot deeper, to the point where even the government don't know what certain groups do. You know, the CIA is the prime one over there that even hid stuff from the government, and that's why the government had to sign orders, not just Trump, but before, to get these files released. And as we know, and most of it was heavily redacted as well. Anti-gravity propulsion. Yep. In a vacuum, even light can be used. They were using one with blasts of light and power or something, and they actually got this thing to lift off the ground. It weren't a plane or nothing. It was just an experiment. But this is where I pick holes in science fiction, because we know that space is a vacuum. So to get somewhere, you wouldn't need constant propulsion. You know, once you've got a thing up to speed in the vacuum, it's going to keep traveling at that speed, whether the propulsion's there or not. The theory, a lot of it surrounding time travel and shit like that. They say if you keep accelerating, you'll just keep accelerating until, well, it'd be infinite, but
then you can't go faster than the speed of light, so it can't be infinite.
I talk to the dead every day, but the fuckers never answer me. But that is 5 to 9. I'm going to keep going for another 5 minutes or so. Yeah, the maglev is, I think, is a very dangerous thing, to be honest, because the speeds that can reach to, can you imagine, like the experimental one that can travel at God knows how many 100 miles an hour? Can you imagine somebody hacking into that system and instantly cutting the power on it? Because all the magnets work on power. That would worry me.
And you tell me you're not a pessimist?
Well, you know me, I always look for I'm used to assessing risk. You know, that used to be part of my job. It used to be part of the racing. You know, you have to assess a risk and decide whether you're going to take that risk. I mean, that's something every racing driver has in his head the moment he sits in a car. You know, an old racing saying that I was told many years ago: don't drive within your limits, because you don't know where your limits are until you've gone above them, and then you can be in trouble. But yeah, I've ignored that advice quite a few times over the years. But
I was going to say that within the field of motor racing, it's not do as I say. It's a case of, look, this is what you should really be doing. But at the end of the day, none of us can do that, because we all know that you can't do that and win a race.
Oh, when we were there, anything can be used for good and bad. It depends on who controls.
Most definitely.
Exactly, we would. And I've said for many, many years, over all these things they've banned, knives, guns, spears,
dogs,
swords, they're all inanimate objects. They will not kill anybody unless someone is holding them or directing them. They only become a deadly weapon when they're put in a human's hand. You know, I've always said that. It's not a knife that stabs somebody, it's the person holding it. A knife laid on the ground is harmless, basically. Well, unless you fall on it, I suppose. But yeah, it's only people that kill people. Yeah, exactly. When you know yourself, you're military trained. You know yourself. You could look at any desk and pick up something that you could kill somebody with.
Letter opener.
Yeah, letter opener, biro, even a pencil. Eating utensils, including forks and spoons.
I went out with a guy who got a stab wound from a fork.
Well, I got that slash one across my face, didn't I? Well, that twat tried to slash me with a knife.
4 dots in the back of his hand. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, admittedly, I got into a lot of trouble with the police because I took the knife off him and stuck it in his leg. But
yeah, but this wasn't a knife; it was a fork.
You know, there we go. I'm going back probably 44 years, maybe a bit less when that happened. Yeah, it's but yeah, inanimate objects don't kill people. People do. Even tech weapons, someone had to program them to kill. You know, and this is the worrying thing with AI. Right, guys, that is 9 o'clock. I've got to have some supper before I go to bed to lay down and calm my legs down. There may be a video either tomorrow or Friday. Again, it depends on how I'm feeling. But thank you, everybody, for dropping in tonight, especially those that haven't been in for a while. Nice to see you. James, not nice chatting to you, mate. And again, sorry for your loss, buddy. It's a loss for all of us, but no bigger than the one you're suffering. But you're more than welcome to join in on a Wednesday night. You know, there's people here that knew your dad.
And we weren't just here for him.
Thank you, Bailey. Yeah, it's just sad. Kind of threw me out tonight. But yeah, you're more than welcome in here, mate, in this community. I've no bones about that. Right, guys, as always, thank you for being what I consider the most respectful community on the internet.
I'll book myself a Friday night out and I'll see some of you girls at 7:30.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to her to arrange. But again, thank you very much, everybody, for keeping the channel going. I mean, you know, I do it for you as much as I do it for me. And with that, as always, that's good night from me.
And good night from me.
And don't buy in too much on this here coming storm. I think it could be being blown a bit out of proportions, for the want of a pun, to keep people off the streets from protesting. It didn't stop them at the Tommy rally, did it? But as always, guys, no matter what you do, where you go, stay safe, stay strong, and stay absolutely free from the corruption.
And wicked.
Yeah, stay wicked. Good night, people. Take care.
Take care all.